It's been a minute, but I'm back. So, how many of you have all been following this build for the last 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it is right now? Making a promise to you and to myself that this car is going to be finished this year. Well, finished in stage one. Finished to the point where I've got all the carbon fibre body kit on it, got the engine running, and I can drive it out this garage. So let's have a quick update about where we are and what we've still to do. So from that picture there, from the 8th of January 2019, the car's sat in the almost exact same place. That is when it started. So what's that? That's 7 years ago now. It's took me because I had a wild idea. Not only to put the LS3 engine into it, but also to custom make a carbon fibre widebody kit, which I totally underestimated how much time and how much money it would cost. So yeah, over the last 7 years, this is where I've been working on. If you follow on Instagram, you'll see I've made on carbon fibre roof. So the other roof's been cut off, full carbon fibre roof. The tailgate is one I've bought, the doors I've bought them, and the bonnet I've bought that. So everything else, so you see up here there's a mould for a front bumper, mould for rear arches, side skirts are up there, and there's also the roof mould is sitting there. There's also a mould for the A-pillars, which is the pieces that go along the roof here. And out the other garage there's a mould for the front arches. And what else? The rear quarter glass, I think. Loads of different stuff. So it just kind of grew arms and legs. I'll try and maybe put some pictures in of what it looks like, because the arches have been test fitted and stuff, so give you an idea of what the car's going to look like. So the arches, everything's complete. It's been stored upstairs in the house, and the only thing I'm waiting on is the rear bumper coming back from the body shop. I just finished the rear bumper with the diffuser and the fins. So once that's back for the body shop, I can kind of mock everything up. But that's the fun part. I want to get this engine up and running before I get to the fun stuff. To do that, I mean, it's in there. I fitted an LOJ conversion kit from the States. So everything bolted up lovely. You see all these brackets down here. Everything, just all the mounts, engine mounts, gearbox mounts, everything was perfect. And I had that in the matter of a day or two. When I say a day or two, I mean an hour or two each day. So it didn't take overly long. So yeah, that's in. I've got a few changes to make to it. I've got a different intake to do. I've got spark plugs to fit and new leads. I also need to get the manifolds off. They were put on temporarily, so there's no gaskets on them, just two bolts holding them on so that I could get the exhaust fabricated up. So I need to take them off, give them a quick go in the sandblaster just to get any surface kind of rust that started appearing on them, and then I'll get them coated. Once they're done, I can get them bolted up with the gaskets. As I say, I'll get the spark plugs and things done. And then I need to get the radiator mounted in, which is the radiator I had on my Supercharged Z, so it's there with the aircon panel, because I am planning to keep the aircon in this car. I bought the conversion kit for the aircon, so that is down there, and the pipes and stuff are all in place to connect back up to it. So that takes care of that. I'll need to get a couple of custom pipes made for the plumbing to hook up the radiator. And I need to bring back in the power steering reservoir and the pipes for up there. I need to attach the fuel line. Possibly might be this line. I'll need to... It's got new fuel rails on it anyway when I put the new intake onto it. So I've basically got all this stuff here. All this stuff in the boxes. All to go back onto the car. Now, some of it I know where it goes. Other parts, yeah, not so sure because I stripped it like 7 years ago. So things like my headlights, which are in great condition, they're just not going to suit the car anymore, so I need to get them split apart, redone, whatever colours, black, greys, whatever whatever I think, maybe some new LEDs put in them, kind of freshen them up to date a bit. Also, the interior was also painted similar to the lights, so you've got the kind of little gold accents and the red, so kind of these are the interior trims as well, which are all the same. I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm not adverse to red, I just don't think the red lights on the outside will look very nice with all the black everywhere else. Could be wrong, might give that a go anyway. I do have the red Cooler Works shifter here as well, which I've not tried out. I need to try and get that bolted up. So yeah, I've got a lot to put back on the car. Thinking what else. That's all kind of doable. I can bolt things on and work out where things go. I've obviously got, so I changed from the LOJ engine harness to Haltech. So I've now got Haltech wiring loom and Haltech ECU, and we're waiting on the Haltech dash as well. So I should be able to work out how to wire up the engine and get it back through into the car, connect it to the ECU. I do not know, however, how to connect that engine side of stuff to the body harness. I'll need to do some reading up into that. I'm sure there'll be some sort of module or something so we can connect all the lights and the heaters, brake lights, everything else up. So this is the interior. Tripping over stuff. I had the body shop basically paint the shell black. So before it was painted red when I had the car. Before it was all custom candy red, supercharged and everything. So now went back to black, which was the original colour of the car anyway. The arches were cut up in the past to give us more room for the bigger wheels and everything that are going on. So the interior, I'm going to try and keep the front, the original dash, put the original carpets and everything back in. I'll need to create a couple of custom door cards just so, because the original door cards won't clear the roll cage. So I can create them easy enough. In the back area here, I'm going to get 4-way stretch carpet just to cover all the metal work up. And so the one thing I needed to change, so obviously a fuel is here. Now my wide arch kit is quite a boxy looking thing, so it comes out and then angles down here and angles back in. So there's not really a nice place to put the fuel filler cap. So what I'm doing is I'm going to relocate it into here. And this is the original cap that goes out there. I've cut it and I've cut a hole here. And I'm going to mount it somewhere kind of in that area here when I've got hoses and stuff to adjust the height of it, make it a bit flexible. And once that's in place, I've got a plate welded on here, make it nice and secure. Obviously patch in this area here with a couple of gaskets and whatever, some metal work or fiberglass or something. So obviously I'll need to open the boot lid, which is fine to fill it up. This bracket here I'm going to use to create a firewall, just a back. So I'm going to run it up the back of these strut towers and up to the underside of the boot lid and back across, just so that is just a closed off section basically. I'm still going to probably carpet this so it looks nice enough. Take off a few things like these brackets down here, these little brackets here, take all the kind of awkward stuff off and do that. So yeah, that should kind of take, there's nothing going to be in here apart from some wiring to brake lights, and there'll be wiring going to the fuel pumps and sensors. And I'll probably just run them over the carpet, if I'm honest, just so they're still accessible in case we ever get any issues. This is kind of going to be a fun track car kind of thing, so a bit of wiring here or there, as long as it's tidy looking, it won't bother me too much. The boot lid, so the boot lid it's a carbon fibre stroke fiberglass. One that I've already drilled the holes in there for the big spoiler. So the spoiler comes through. I've filled this boot lid through with structural foam, so it's very rigid. But I'm also going to get a plate, custom plate made either probably carbon fibre, maybe 3 or 4, 6, whatever layers of carbon fibre on here to reinforce this area. So when the bolts go through, they've got a bit more. Obviously, this is just fiberglass. It's only 2 or 3 mil thick, 4 mil thick, whatever it is, but it's not really overly strong. So if I get a plate put on there and on here, that'll just take the load away from the wing. So that's all I've got to do there. Exhaust is on. I think it needs to come back off and get all the gaskets and everything put on. It's just been put on for test. The underside's complete, except I need to go through every nut and bolt and check them. The doors are semi-complete. I've got the motors and everything on them, but I need to put the glass back in. But nice little surprise I found over that package here, bubble wrap package, tall one. That is actually Lexan glass and polycarbonate stuff. I obviously bought that 6 years ago, forgot I had it. So I'm keen to unwrap that and see what it looks like. Maybe just fit that as well. So we'll have the plexiglass here. I've got carbon fibre blanking plates for here, which are at the body shop as well. So that takes away having to worry about glass getting fitted. The only bit I still need to do is get a new windscreen for this. I'll figure that out later. No idea where to get one, but I'm sure we'll figure it out somewhere. So I don't really want to bond the roof on just now, because it does give a little bit of access and stuff when you need it. Obviously there's no point in putting the windscreen in because I still need to put the dash and everything on, so that makes that easier. Yeah, get to figure out where all these plugs go back to. And all the years ago I actually bought a new stereo for the car. So let's just show you how old it is. Still got a CD player. Yeah, brand new Pioneer. Probably doesn't even have, I don't think it will have Apple CarPlay or anything like that, so I might upgrade that. Yeah, so I've got fun Haltech stuff to do. Found this other strut brace, so I've got a choice of strut braces to put back in, which I'll get the mounts powder coated. I've got angle braces for the front arch areas. I'll get them powder coated. Big Brembo brakes, which have been on test fitted, so I had to take them back off to get the tyres on the car to roll it to the body shop. So get these back on with the centre lug adapters for the Volk magnesium wheels. That's the wiring harness for LOJ that I won't need. Loads of little brackets. Right, I have no clue where these brackets go. I obviously took the time to have them powder coated back in the day. No clue, I'll need to figure out that. I had new exhaust ones done. I've got new track rod ends, I think that's the name of them. New ones of them on. Yeah, there's bits and bobs I don't need here. That's the new intake. Quite a big beefy, nice looking intake, and there's some fuel rails in here, and that's the plugs for the coil stroke spark plugs, which I've got. So lots of stuff. A lot of this stuff is dash, there's scuttle panels. Yeah, bits that once I open up I should be able to figure out, but yeah, look, this dash has been out for, like, as I say, 7 years or something. It's absolutely filthy. I need to get it outside with the pressure washer, get it all cleaned up, see what it's like, maybe get it painted. Oh yeah, so I need to do it. This is sat like this for too long, it's a shame, but we're making progress. So I might as well let you see what's been done to it all the years ago. So we've got some BC external reservoir suspension. There's some, I think it's Voodoo top arms up there as well. A lot of the stuff, well, everything's been polybushed and powder coated. So you can see there's the underside of the engine. It has to have a custom tank. So I'm trying to hold a camera here and a torch. Try and do this with one hand. Right, so the LOJ conversion takes the original oil pan off the LS3 and has a custom one to suit the 350Z. Yeah, so all polybushed, stainless lines, obviously the big Brembo brake kit, brand new CDO CD00A, basically a CDO9 gearbox with all the upgraded internals. So with the engine, it came with some cats because this engine was on a what'd you say? Not a custom car. Oh, my memory these days. Kit car. So I thought I'll use these cats anyway. So I got them mated up to a 350Z Y pipe, and obviously, as I said before, they're just in there temporary onto the manifolds. So this manifold needed a little bit of cutting up here, just for the power steering column, sorry. There's a gearbox here, CD00A, brand new. Please remind me to put fresh oil in it before we run this car. So yeah, got all the brace and powder coated and everything. Going round here, it was a custom prop shaft here, had to be made because of the length of it. So that's not a carbon fibre one anymore, that's a metal shaft now. W brace, which I think probably have scratched it up here. Going to get that repowder coated. And up to the back, it's a CAS 1.5 weight diff that's now inside here. Again, please remind me to check the oil and everything before I run this car, because it's been a while. We have some adjustable arms, SPL stuff, along with the BC coilovers at the back here. Polybush subframe, polybush diff, yeah, adjustable drop links. And I got the Fuji exhausts, nice big beefy exhaust, good quality. Oh, and yeah, the whole car, if you look back 7 years, the whole car was basically sandblasted, treated, and then Raptor lined, so everything should be alright. I do notice a little bit up here. The car was transported to the body shop without any cover on it, and it happened to rain, so I think there's some water kind of came in the inside, so I'm going to get that cleaned up. Everything else seems to have lasted the test of time, to be fair, considering how long it sat. So yeah, thought I'd give you a wee look at that before we start anything else. I'm glad all that's done. I still need to figure out, there's kind of shields and stuff here that cover this area up here, the kind of carbon filter for the fuel, and I think there's maybe one or two over here, so I need to figure out how they go back together. And I'm just going to keep the original rear crash bar, because it's a kind of a carbon fibre bumper, but it's OEM shape, so that'll fit perfectly. Yeah, everything else is alright. I'm going to take, there's only 6 or 8 bolts holding this whole front on, so I'm going to take that off just to get into the manifolds, make it easier to pull that stuff apart. Right, I am away to write a game plan on how to tackle all this. In the meantime, here's some pictures of what the car looks like with the body panels on, and hopefully it won't be too long to the next video. See you later.